just walking through the woods to do my Halloween video. I'm going to go to an old creepy cabin, just like the old Evil Dead cabin, so when I get there we'll do the review. Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Just been traipsing through the woods in all my best clothes to get to this dirty old cabin to do you a Halloween video. It'll be a Happy Halloween free horror film collaboration, and it's going to be myself, Vampire, the VidKid67 and Cakes is Cakes. We're going to do a little collaboration video on free horrors, basically. Yeah, quite a creepy walk through the woods that was, you know, as you saw. The weird thing was, all the way through I thought someone was following me. But, well, as you can see, they'd probably be the ones who ought to be scared, not me. Well, anyway, I'll get down to it now. So, free horror films. This was quite hard for me to pick. I was going to pick maybe 3 classics and 3 rarer ones. But the thing with the classics, everyone's seen them, you know what I mean? So I may discard the 3 classics, maybe just talk about them a bit later. So the 3 classics would have been, I've got a little list down there: Evil Dead, Dawn of the Dead and The Fog. Those would have been my classics, but I thought, you know, everyone's seen them, you know, or, you know, most people have seen those. Although they're art classics, really good films, I'm going to go for 3 different ones instead. So the first one I'm going to go with is Maniac Cop. Now, I'll read you the synopsis, and right, it says up the top there, you have the right to remain silent forever. So, a maniacal murderer has taken to the streets sporting the uniform of New York's finest. Detective McRae, Tom Atkins, suspects a member of the force. As a suspicion seemingly confirmed when the wife of Jack Forrest, Bruce Campbell, is found slayed. In her possession is a diary implicating her husband. Forrest fights to clear his name, but Commissioner Pike, Richard Roundtree, is under increasing pressure to bring the psychopathic deviant to justice. A taut horror thriller from director William Lustig, the nephew of the boxing legend Jake LaMotta. With cameos from Sam Raimi, Maniac Cop is a stylish and superior slice of exploitation filmmaking, with a cast that includes seasoned acting legends: Tom Atkins, you know, he's a John Carpenter regular, Bruce Campbell, and a brilliant script by cult figure Larry Cohen. Maniac Cop is not to be missed. Right, so I don't know if any of you lot would have seen this. It is a very good film. It's quite, I don't think it's that popular as far as I know. Starts off with basically what you don't know really. Is it a cop? Is it someone dressed as a cop? And he's a big old beast of a man. goes round, you know, he just kills this woman with his bare hands, and he gets one bloke, rams his face, he handcuffs him behind his back, rams this bloke's face into some wet cement and sort of just leaves him there. And at the same time, Bruce Campbell's, right, so this is the killer. I'm not going to tell you too much, because I recommend you should watch it really, you know, but it's highly recommended. Anyway, at the same time, Bruce Campbell is a cop, he's having an affair, and every time he goes out, his wife thinks he's going out committing the murders. You know, I'm not going to tell you whether it is him or not, but so she starts doing a diary, and then she turns up dead. So, you know, and they're trying to work out, you know, is it policeman, is it not? It's got a good sort of twist. It's not a twist ending, the twist is sort of halfway through, you know. But yeah, that's a highly recommended film. It's an 18, it's an hour and a half, and try to find when it was made for you. I don't think it says on here. Definitely late 80s, early 90s, I think. Let's see what it says inside. No. Anyway, that's number 1, Maniac Cop. Number 2, Chopping Mall. Now, I don't know how many of you lot would have heard of this. Jim Wynorski's Chopping Mall, where shopping can cost you an arm and a leg. This is a sort of 80s, low budget, not supposed to be funny, but ridiculously funny, stupid horror basically, teen horror. Worth watching just for the laughs really. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever seen. I've also found this on YouTube, the whole thing in one thing, not even parts, and I'll add a link in the more info section so you can watch this as well. I'll go over the synopsis of this one. Teenagers working at a local shopping mall sneak in supplies and wait until the mall locks up for an intimate party night. The mall has a sophisticated robot security system that goes into attack mode after a malfunction and kills the human security guards. Now the teens must run for their lives and try to find a way out of the mall using materials within the mall. I've written down some notes for this so I can find them. Alright, is this Chopping Mall? Yeah. I've written down some of the stuff for you. Starts, because I did actually watch, well, I watched Chopping Mall and my next one. I didn't watch Maniac Cop recently, but I can remember it anyway. So, yeah, so it starts off with these really crappy, it starts off with a man, basically, a robber. He's walking along, and he smashes the window to this jewellery shop, grabs the jewellery, starts running down the mall, and suddenly this really crappy robot sort of rolls into view, great big old tracks, and I was trying to think what it looked like a cross between, but it's terrible, the least unthreatening thing you've ever seen. And I think I can't remember what it says, but it stops him, it says, you know, halt or something like that, and then it shoots out like a taser and electrocutes him to death. No, it doesn't electrocute him to death actually, because that's the thing, they're not supposed to kill people, but it I think tranquilises him, and then, you know, and then the police come. So right, what else have I got written down? So anyway, and then that was a promo. That was showing a promo of the robots, the killbots they're called, and then they're describing saying, oh no, they don't kill people, but they have got lasers that cut through any debris. They've got tasers and sleep darts. Right. So then it cuts to these teenagers. All, you know, there's a bit of everything. There's the jock, the nerd, the shy girl. You know it's going to be the shy girl and the nerd who probably live, and all the other twats. You know, there's the young slags who get their tits out. They're all going to die. yeah, so they're going to have a party in the mall, and while this is happening there's a thunderstorm and some lightning comes down and it sets off the killbots, and they kill the security guard and they start patrolling the mall. But as long as you're in the shops, you're alright. But these kids want to get some cigarettes, you see. So one of them goes out to get some cigarettes. He dies, I don't think it shows his death until later. And his girlfriend comes out looking for him, finds him dead on the floor with his throat cut. And then she's running off with one of these killbots chasing her. And she stands outside like the window of the shop that all her friends are in. And then suddenly the killbot shoots a laser and explodes her head. So it's got some quite good gore. You know, if you like a bit of gore, that was pretty good. An exploding head. What else did I write on here? The girls end up in a vent, you know, in the old the ventilation vents, and the boys end up going to a gun shop, and it's got one of the most classic lines you'll ever hear, and that is, "Let's go send these fuckers a Rambogram." While holding a machine gun, an M16. Yeah, so it's pretty good film. It's pretty funny because it's stupid, you know. I'll tell you who's in it. The only ones I've ever heard of was Barbara Crampton, Paul Bartel, and the old bloke from Gremlins and various other films, Dick Miller. You know, he's a good actor. He's not in enough, really. You know, he should be in more films, I think. He might be dead now, but anyway. So that was the Dead of Night collection, Jim Wynorski's Chopping Mall. The link is down there. Right, and then my final one of my all-time favourite films. I've probably watched this over 50-60 times. I don't know how popular it is. I watched this when I was 16 years old and couldn't stop watching it. I fucking love it. And that is, upside down, Revenge of Billy the Kid. Now I'll show you the cover there so you can get an idea of what this is about. If you don't know what it's about. Right, the most entertaining and original film of the year. Old MacDonald had a farm, and on that farm he had a goat. Britain's answer to the Evil Dead. Right, I'll read you the synopsis to this one. Revenge of Billy the Kid is an outrageous farce like no other comedy film you've ever seen. Yeah, it is a comedy horror. Nice gory comedy horror. Very funny. Its bizarre blend of murder and mirth, terror and titters simply defies sane description. When horny-handed Farmer Giles MacDonald has his wicked way with the farmyard goat, little does he realise the freakish consequences of his strange desires. I'll explain all this a bit later. The MacDonalds are crude and grotesque, living by their dim wits on a desolate island. Shunned by the mainlanders, the family's laughable lifestyle is shattered when the unfortunate goat finally gives birth. Only Giles's soft-headed daughter takes pity on the hideous creature, naming it Billy. She warns her brutish brothers to keep their hands off her newfound friend. But Billy doesn't bleat about the bush. He grows quickly, too quickly for Giles, who realises his diabolical secret will soon be out, and the legacy of his evil lust is about to drop him in deep manure. Right, so it's an English film made in 1991, starring Michael Balfour. I'll tell you who Michael Balfour is. He's the referee in the Craze film, they have the boxing match, and he's the referee in that. And Samantha Perkins. I don't know who that is. It's directed by Jim Groom. Yeah, so as it explained, they live on a shitty old horrible island called Gehenna Island, and old Giles, he has to take the goat over to the mainland to get it to breed, and then it might start, you know, milking again. So on the way there, he gets pissed because they're always drinking moonshine all the time. they brew moonshine, and then get paralytic, and he ends up having sex with the goat. And then that produces a sort of mutant, half man, half goat monster that comes back to kill them all. Because, well, I don't know if he would kill all of them. He definitely killed all of them apart from the girl. Their names are Giles McDonald, Greta McDonald, Ronald McDonald, Ronald McDonald, and Ronnie McDonald. The mother apparently likes the name Ronald. There's a couple of funny bits I noticed on this as well. Like, I don't mean funny, but as in like unintentional things. I've never known whether they was meant to do this or not. There's one bit where literally there's an actor there, and when he opens the door and comes out the door, it's the same character but played by a different actor. I don't know if they lost the actor or something like that, or what. Yeah, got some funny old names, like there's Mr. Allet's store and his son's Lance a lot. You know, Ronnie, Ronald and Ronald. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, one of the funniest things about this film is one of the sex scenes in it. It is the most disgusting, yet funniest and most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your entire life. And I've seen this film, you know, I said about 60 times, right? It took me about 40 times to realise something in this scene that I'd never noticed before. What happens is, right, Giles is sort of quite a fat old man. Greta is probably about 20 stone. And she's a fucking beast of a woman. Warts and, you know, disgusting, you know. And she sort of beats them up. And she's bent over looking in the oven. He comes along, sees her, grabs her ass, and he says, "Oh, on your period, are you, love?" She says, "No." He says, "Get your drawers down then." It's revolting, honestly. So, this is, you're pissing yourself laughing. It's so funny. One of the funniest things you've ever seen. Gets her on the table, but what's happening at the same time, right? I've never noticed this ever until someone said, right, I'll tell you what happens. It cuts between the scenes, so sex scene, and it shows the daughter on a cliff with sad music, and she's listening to a Walkman that Lance gave her, and she's gonna, well, you think, jump off the cliff. All the times I've seen this, I'd never even noticed that even happening. Until one day I sat there watching this with my mates, we'd been smoking a bit of marijuana, I think, and he went, "Is she gonna jump?" I went, "What the fuck's he on about? Is she gonna jump?" And then we realised that we'd never ever noticed this bit because it's so funny. Oh, it's revolting. He gets a big old lump of lard and goes, "Bit of lardy lubrication," whams it in there. Oh, it's sick, trust me. But it's funny as hell. So, yeah, that's that. It's got some pretty good gory bits, like I said. Well, I don't know if I did say it. It's got a chainsaw in it. Got a crossbow. I was going to tell you one of the sons shoots his foot off. That's pretty funny. I'm going to tell you some of the gory bits. It's got some throats being ripped out. Someone being killed while taking a shit. Scythe between the fingers. He holds his hand up and the scythe comes down. And hook through the chin, come out of his mouth. Yeah, so that is my 3. I know this has dragged on. I've got to trench back through the woods now. Might take, I don't know, what do you think? This one, or this one for my journey back. Whoever's following me is going to feel a bit of cold still. Right, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to now find Vampires, the VidKid67s and Cakes' Cakes video. Go and watch theirs, and I'll link to the films I've mentioned in the more info section if I can find versions of them. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I I think my little walk through the woods is uneventful, but if it is eventful, I'm sure I'll film it. See you later.